What's up, world? It's I, Dave, your second favorite fanny pack wearing human, and what you're about to witness is going to be a one-on-one interview with myself and Will McReynolds. Now, if you don't know Will, which I'm sure many of you don't, but for those that do, for those that might not necessarily know Will exactly, but they know of his work, they know of WorldCast and K9 Interactive, this is going to be a treat. And for those that don't know about WorldCast, dude, click, and if you can't even click, just pull out your phone and hold your camera right over that QR code and see what it does. If you're not using augmented reality or mixed reality now, I suggest you start. I suggest you hit Will with a follow on YouTube, subscribe, watch him on LinkedIn too. Really amazing on LinkedIn. Really amazing. The knowledge that he shares with the community is insane. And it's not even that he shares with the community, right? It's that he shares with the world. His products, his products. Are they even products because they're free? Is that even a product? He's basically giving you the ability to say, hey, what could you create? He's giving you the ability to just create without boundaries, saying, hey, you know what? I'm not going to make you download an app. I'm not going to make you do anything. You want to create something cool? You want to create something that doesn't exist today? Go right ahead. Use my platform. It is yours. It is web-based. No need to download an app. Just go have fun. Go have fun. Create. If you're not creating, you're not living. No, but for real. Enjoy. It's a little lengthy, you know what? But I'm a talkative guy, and I after watching this, I realized gotta slow down a little bit and let people, chime in. It's a lot, but have fun, enjoy. World of knowledge you're about to receive. Just be ready for it. Be ready to receive the gift of knowledge. You always say, be teachable and shareable. Teachable and shareable. All right. See you guys. Enjoy. That's awesome. Hey, do you mind if I toss on a record?
Nope.
Awesome. Cool, dude. How's your father-in-law doing? I've seen he's getting some memory back, but he doesn't necessarily remember his daughters too much.
Exactly. He's had a pretty massive brain bleed, and then yeah.
It's got to be kind of interesting for you to, because with your mind and everything, to watch his like cognitive abilities come back and what he's remembering and what he's not. It's kind of, obviously it's going to be a really long process, and I hope the best. But it's like at the same time he's like a grown man who's going through like different things, so he has a higher ability to learn than a child. So it's like it's recapturing some of those previous thoughts and kind of like refreshing and re-triggering the mind.
Yep, that's exactly. So every day something new comes along. Man, I'm trying to find I'm looking at myself, and it's like that cross section of that background. It's like right.
No, I got you. Let me bring you. It's funny because that's one thing that I've been trying to figure out is if I should bring that one forward, but I could also I can also just capture you and put you at the desk right now next to me and remove that background. The Dave over on the right has been glitching out anyway. I probably just take you over there.
I like how you refer to yourself as like the third person. The Dave over on the right.
Yeah, that damn Dave. He's been glitching, man. I'm on my 6th computer right now, and it's technology is something.
This isn't even Will that you're talking to. This is my real life decoy.
that's I believe it. I believe it. I've seen what you do. I definitely believe it, man. Let's bring you. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's bring you up.
The big giant. I feel like there's like a crosshair on my face, like somebody's getting ready to.
That's what it looked like. That is what it looked like. Yeah.
I don't believe in the metaverse. We'll take you out.
That metaverse, man. So you've been having different people trying to acquire you and everything, huh?
Yeah.
They want your mind. They want what you're doing.
Well, they'll have everybody has a different version of what they want to do, right? There's a lot of parallels, obviously. Like when I started doing a lot of things I'm doing, look, bottom line, the reason I'm still staunch or so I don't know, thumb on where we're at is in so many ways is it's still early days, right? Like a lot, even our own software, like even the tutorials and things, I'm not overly worried about a lot of things on it yet, because even for sales wise, because it's still early days.
Yeah.
And that's what, and I just keep on doing things that make the most sense for the people of today, right? You know my story by now.
Yeah.
It's starting to pay off in it, but other people, you know, everybody wants to jump on the metaverse bandwagon, and I've said I don't care what it gets called. It's like you have to understand the underlying structure of what it has to be. You can't sell the metaverse today and expect it to be the metaverse today, because it doesn't. It's not there.
So you have a huge opportunity with inside everything that you've already created. I know I really want to talk to you about like these questions, but like I just keep watching you and I look at what I can envision, right? What I believe is possible right now, and it is possible. That's what's crazy. Like what you're doing, I believe it's possible, but I don't necessarily have the skill set to do it. And I think that, and I kind of told you this before, I think that our industry, your industry, it's what I want to see, what I need to see happen. I think it's going to grow faster the more people that cross over into it. Not specifically the users, because the users will come, but the people to use your technology. Because I try to use it, but I can't. If you had a list on your website of independent, I don't know if it would be graphic designers, spatial designers, whatever it may be, and you have a list, so somebody finds your website and they have access to these freelance people where they could go out, and I mean I think that would be huge, because at this point I'd pay for that.
Well, that's what so that's look, that's part of the gig as well. But define verified people that we trust
I know
are going to host somebody, right? That's what we've been working. We've got a small group of people that we put, and we are going to make a partner page and an affiliate page that you can. But again,
I know.
It's the technology, even if you're using and here's the guy that owns the freaking.
I know.
It's not. I am not worried about that at scale yet, because the engine is so vast. Like, there's a whole underlying structure that nobody even knows about. That's going to be that's the most important part. That's going to be the things that are going to be and come to pass are what we're building. The things that people see today and can use today or see our system doing today, I'm not too concerned about even the tutorials to really polish it off as of yet, because there's so much more to come. But there's a lot of bad people. There's a lot of bad people out there that screw people too. Like
I know.
We found people.
It gives you more work. Yeah.
But here's the problem. Even with agencies, they say yes to every mother effing thing out there. They'll say yes to the client. Yes. And then they'll come back to us. And even if we referred the person to them, because we don't do that work, right?
Yeah.
We're not an agency, but that person will say, that agency or that person, or
it comes back on you.
Comes back on us, because they said, well, we said yes, and then the person won't do the job because what they thought would work wouldn't, or the solution, they're never happy with it because they never could get what they want or what they thought they could do, because the person said yes.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I mean not everybody's going to be as well versed, but the nice thing about it is you're growing it so small and methodical based on your LinkedIn network and your YouTube network, that a lot of the people that will find you and start using it will be able to watch you and understand some of that aspect. So I mean that's what you kind of have going for you, because I believe a lot of your users really are like a close knit type thing, where they kind of been following you and watching you and are seeking more education from you almost on a daily basis. Like, you're very good with your socials.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. One of the things I try to do is we're a little bit behind the tutorials, but we also had a massive push with the interface to bring out. So I didn't want to keep on getting caught in the cycle of keep on make a bunch of tutorials, then have the interface be deprecated, and we're like, oh well, where is that feature that's no longer, or it's moved, or there's nothing more annoying than a user watching something, going to do the same thing and going, well, where is that? Because it's he's telling me to go to this spot on the video, but it's not actually there.
How many people would you be able to bring somebody in house? Like, how many people would you need to be able to create some of these experiences? Because it would be kind of a one-off, right? So people try to do it themselves. They either do it or they get discouraged and move on. Would it be like a one-off where you could offer that somewhat?
Well, yeah, there's not enough call for it yet. Like that, I
Yeah.
hear what you're saying. There's not enough. We tried doing the white glove kind of hand holding thing,
Yeah.
and then again, we start becoming an agency, and then
Yeah.
the amount of hand holding versus the do it yourself. Like I want to focus on innovation. I did the hand holding for like 7 years prior to this, like 3 years before I put. It was only 3 years or 4 years ago now, in 2018, when I fully pivoted to go for a platform. I was done doing projects and I was done handholding. Because you know why?
Yeah.
Nobody listens.
Yeah.
Nobody listens. It's like, if you listen to me, if you genuinely listen to me and I tell you what you can do, you'll succeed.
Yeah.
If you don't listen, you won't. I don't know why people come to me as an expert and don't listen to me. It pisses me off knowing.
Well, I can't actually imagine really thinking about it as you were saying that. I was thinking the majority of the people that do follow you are actually pretty educated on that industry, so they actually probably a lot of them could figure out on their own. It's just the one-offs that, the guy that wants to add it to their business but they don't necessarily know. But if you're going to add the partner page and stuff like that, I mean that could solve that, because you in essence could be, I mean, every one of your posts is almost a networking forum.
Well, next, like, we're going to be making it so that when you go to upload a 3D model, as an example, or Sketchfab or something, if you're like, well, if you get into it, and you're like, you know what, this isn't really for me. Like, I'm not a 3D modeler.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have a link right on the modal that pops up and says, "Hey, are you not a 3D modeler?"
That's
Click
cool.
this button and contact somebody that can do it for you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's good. That's going to be on there. And like I said, but
That's
the
cool.
list has been, a lot of people in India reached out to me, 3D House in India and stuff, and I reached out to them like, but then like the amount of vetting we've had to do on certain things, like
I can
they say you
imagine.
do modeling and you get the model, it's like, dude, it's a gigabyte in size and it's a friggin' chair. Nobody's gonna open that. Mobile.
Yeah, because it is all mobile, because it's not. I mean, it's all mobile. All right.
We're not doing a hyper realistic VR scenario here where you're pushing a 3080 card and the 4K texture and it can handle 2 million polygons. It's not going to happen on a mobile phone.
Not yet.
But this is different, man. You have 3D architects, you have 3D generalists, you have 3D modelers, you have 3D textures. Like there's a lot of people. Sometimes you get that person that can do it all: model, texture, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are transferring their knowledge set over to mobile-esque, mobile friendly models now, right? Just like web developers at one time went from but they didn't have to worry about mobile design at all. They had to worry about a rectangular screen. They didn't have to worry about multiple responsive viewports, right?
Yeah.
This is the same thing that we're running to with 3D modelers. Like, so you have to vet them. That's where I'm going with all this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because if we put a list of people, we can't just do anybody, because not just anybody knows how to do proper 3D modeling. Oh, hey,
Makes sense.
look, I really don't need this to be a 3 million polygon thing. Even though our system estimates stuff, you have people doing these massive things that won't work on a browser, and that's what I even tell them, even if it's not for a browser and you're doing it for an app, you still should make it mobile friendly, because guess what? It's serving via the cloud to the person's phone, and you should keep that data set heavy. Hey, there's Mr. Will McReynolds over on the left hand side, your right hand side.
We had to toss in there real quick. That's really smart, because that's
an incoming news broadcast. There's a chance of AR.
Big chance of AR. God, I'm ready for the virtual arcade, and I have some, and that you'll be able to elaborate on that, but I know I want to get some stuff from you before I run out of time with you. I know you're a busy man. With those QR codes and stuff. So obviously QR codes are right now. Image codes it's so impressive on what you can do linking with an image code. And I see so much future with that. I almost want to go through and take like every image at like a Home Depot or something and scan it and apply an image code to it, because when people go shopping they take a picture or something, and to remember it, all of a sudden bam, here I pop up with a link. So part of me is like, Dave, let's just steal all the images, but obviously images have some copyright things along with it, so link that on there. But kind of interesting future with image codes that you guys have set up.
Well,
But
yeah. I mean, one of the things I actually don't think a lot of people are, and don't worry about the time. We'll make it work for you. I think what's interesting about the image, the natural feature recognition, not scanning a QR code, but just looking at the actual image itself, is going to radically change things moving forward. But
it's gonna be amazing.
The data and the always on connection for that part. I mean, people just got used to people after a decade.
Yeah, I know.
It's been longer than a decade. Finally got used to a QR code, right?
I know, yeah.
I've been trying to get them to scan an image with our software for I don't know how many years, and it's like it's painful to watch them because what you've seen this, I know you have. You've given people a VR headset and they've sat there like this and maybe look around like they're not
yeah,
right, because they're I see people with AR all the time holding their phone out, and they either have too close, too far away. They'll have it zoomed in on a segment, not the whole image. Like it's like it's maddening, but also understandable because they have yet to use the technology, and this is the things that we have to get past. It's like the VR arcades you're talking about, the all that stuff's going to be awesome, and making an X arcade to be able to walk up to imagine out in a Central Park hanging out with your friends,
and they're 3,000 miles away. And
all of a sudden, my friends and I can have a shared experience. The people on the sidelines can, or foosball. There's 4 people playing, and I can look at my friend beside me playing on a virtual table in front of them, her, he, them, whatever.
Yeah.
And see everybody, and they all, and wherever they're standing, they have an anchored positional data of that actual same board, and we're all sharing that data in that one spot, playing foosball in the middle of the park on a nice summer day.
It's going to be amazing. Well, now the caveat to that, and this is what will be possible, correct me if I'm wrong, eventually, so that would make sense first, but then you would also be able to say, hey, you know what, Will, I would love to play too. I know you need a fourth, but dude, I am like 1,100 miles away. Let me toss on the headset real quick. And now, in essence, if you're wearing augmented reality glasses or whatnot, you would be able to see me, and I would be able to grab that as well. And play along with you from my house in Michigan, right?
Yeah, you'd be able to Emperor Palpatine in, and you'd be like a hologram, and and you to us like you'd be there, but maybe it's an avatar because here's the thing, volumetric capture is not available at scale. We have to think about what we can actually do.
Oh yeah, for sure. You want to like physically see me, because in order to see me, you'd have to have cameras on me, obviously. But some kind of. Something like that.
But the technology exists to actually do a quick scan of you and make it like the technology exists. Hell, even if you're sitting in front of your computer or with and just set up a webcam and we're using the segmentation data, because you don't have to be in full 3D. If you're across from me, I don't need to see your ass.
No.
I'm sorry. I just need to see. I don't need to have full 3D representation of people.
Yeah.
Most people get past that bullshit. What? You know how creepy it is to place somebody in volumetric space and walk around them as they're talking to me? There's no need for it. What meeting do you ever go to that people that you actually do it? It's creepy AF. I love it, but there's no need for it, and everybody's pushing for us. This right now, placing somebody on green screen or segmentation, and I have it in front of you, and maybe
this is powerful.
Really, let's stop pushing the boundaries and use what actually exists today. My God, it's not that hard of a concept.
Yeah, no, I love it, and I feel like I know exactly. I don't think we'd say names, but I played around with some of those things, and it's weird because you're right. How the only thing you're gonna walk around, like, let's say it was a dress, right? Let's say it was a suit. A dress is weird, but I was thinking like a ballroom dress, right? If you were able to say, okay, I could see what the width of this would be. And you're a girl getting ready for prom, you'd be like, do I want to really be that big? Like, do I want to poof out? My senior year, the girl I went with, she wore a big poofy dress, and she was so embarrassed when she got it in there because you couldn't dance, and seeing something like that would be obviously cool.
I mean, that goes to another level than what I was talking about.
Like, that goes to product place. Yeah.
Once you go to the product placement, virtual try-ons, that's
it's gonna be
And you watch them, and it's great. People are doing things like Snapchat and other companies doing the body thing, but
Yeah, I don't know.
it all looks like shit.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
I don't even care if you post this video. I'll say that because it looks, you know. Oh well, we know it doesn't look like the real world, so we're going to call it, you know, it's metaversal art, or it's AR art. It's fashion.
Yeah.
Right? It's fashion. But we're trying to really show this is how the future is going to be.
Yeah.
But if you want to see like a real dress in that poofy and that form factor, you're going to have a laser scan of your body.
Yeah. Oh, it's just, yeah.
To actually make it, if you want it to look true to firm hugging and shopping online, there's a lot more work that needs to be done. I know that's not what you contacted, but my brain's going down the spiral.
No, that's cool.
I didn't.
No, yeah, no, that's cool. That would make sense. That would be a cool ad. Well, people are working on that, right? But it's a lot. It's a lot.
People working back in 2012, man.
Yeah.
There's demos of, like, you can go back and type in virtual try-ons and look at the different meters and different things and different Unity builds and different Unreal builds and different build of people, what they've done with magic mirrors and all these things to do these virtual try-ons. And but again, you need to start somewhere. So I stand by innovation. I stand by, you have to do it to get to the point of actually making it work. I don't poo-poo actually it being done. It's just that people are trying to sell it that it's available now.
Yeah,
that's what I get mad about. It's like,
it's got to kill you. It's got to be horrible, because you're seeing what it should be, and they're just pushing stuff out, and it's not it, and it's almost it ruins it. It misleads the industry, because then people, they fall out, right? They're getting really excited about using it, and then they fall out. It's not friendly. It's not ready. It's not.
You can't do it at scale. You can't.
You
know, not everybody, and it's compartmentalized, which I do not like. You know, I have to download an app to do something. But second of all, it's you can't guarantee that it's, most likely you need a device with LiDAR to make it work really well. And of course, and here's the thing, that automatically segments your target audience exponentially, because LiDAR is only available on a, if you I'll show numbers here. I'm just pulling it on my ass.
Yeah.
But, you know, say you have like maybe 5% of iOS users have a device with LiDAR, a tablet or a phone that actually has the LiDAR on it. You know, the newer models and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Say we take 5% of the overall population of who actually owns an iOS device, and then you segment it even further. Then you take it for people that actually even know what LiDAR does. You know, there's probably like 0.07% of people of that 5% that actually know what it does. So people are developing it for it right now. It's great, but it's very niche and very but Snapchat's got a great body segmentation thing that works on all devices, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Just that, to get where I'm talking about, I want to see what this shirt looks like on me. Is it going to be like fully like baggy, or is it going to suck to my gut and my love handles?
Which should be huge, because that would slow a lot of returns down. That would the cost of goods would go down, because they wouldn't have to keep covering loss.
Like, I bought this shirt and it's got the stupidest neckline.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if I wouldn't known it was there and I could see how it actually hung, how the weight of it kind of hung down like some kind of weird excess material thing, I probably wouldn't have bought it.
That would have been tough, though, because I mean, even for them, I mean, how many people would have to have tried the shirt on to get that?
But again, if you have a laser body scan and you have Olympic data for falling onto,
I guess you're right, because they know when they produce the shirts, they know the grams, they know what it weighs, they know all this stuff. You're right.
If the cloth has been rigged physically to that digital twin of it, but again.
Yeah, it's interesting.
If and when.
Yeah.
You know, you can't exactly walk down to, you know, ideally in the future, clothing companies will have like satellite offices. Maybe Amazon's going to have a clothing company or some shit. And you go there and you're going to stand in a little tube, get a scan of your body, and you can go back home.
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Get your avatar with the clothes falling on it and draped properly.
Oh, that would be amazing, yeah. That's huge. Right? That
Or you do it at home with your, or the technology is getting to the point. I just set up my phone with LiDAR and I just follow the things and I do a I'm not even on a turntable. I just move around like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's companies that do that already.
That's crazy.
So ask me a question about your QR code, man. I'm sorry I went off base.
Yeah, no, I love it. With the QR codes, so I think I in the video I was mentioned what I want to do is I want to wrap my van. I just got a minivan. It's got a lot of space on it, and I want to put QR codes basically all over, like 18 by 18. I want to have them big enough that people scan them. So the goal of it would be I want to have different QR codes come to life, and one of the biggest ones on the front of the vehicle, like the lower hood going into the grill, want to have a QR code, and then where it links with the van. So the headlights I want to turn into eyeballs. So when they scan that, I want to turn the headlights into eyeballs, and then I want to turn the grill into a mouth. And it say, ever think something like this would be possible? What else is possible if you use your mind? So, go ahead. What do you think?
So a lot of issues to be worked out there.
Okay.
Because every single one of our studios does a different thing, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Printcast, if you scan a QR code, ideally that's what you do. There's no object tracking, right? So if you scan a QR code, you'd have to
stand in the same exact image or same spot, same distance.
Hear me out first.
Yeah.
So the QR code itself, if you watch my video about QR codes specifically, they work, but they're not the best tracker overall. Natural feature tracking will always win. QR codes itself can be a little bit unstable. So if I place I'll send you a video of something I did for a museum where I had a graphic in the background that was dead center of a canoe, which plays two video. It was two people canoeing for a museum thing. It was Tom Thompson, a famous painter, and his friend. And the QR code, as it were, it wasn't a QR code, but it was a marker, was in the middle of the canoe. So if you aimed at the marker, you could have the two people looking like they're sitting in the canoe, but they weren't actually in those. They were anchored to the thing. I put them outside of each thing, but the QR code itself is not stable enough, because if I move away from center of the QR code, you're going to lose some of the tracking and things will come on unstable. It wouldn't be a very good experience.
Okay.
Wait till we get object. I just posted a video today that showed object tracking from 2015. It was a Hummer. I was showing if you watch that video that I posted today.
No, I haven't watched that.
2015. And what that was, it was me taking augmented reality, looking at a physical object, replacing it with an actual overlay of a digital version of itself, a digital twin of that Hummer with a different color. Which I never went any further with it because Mateo was bought by Apple. That was as far as I actually went with it. But we're going to be bringing back out object tracking, so you'd be able to scan a QR code. It would just it would literally say, "Hey, aim at the shape of this, aim at the van," and then the object tracking would be able to you'd be able to place that shit where you want it, basically.
Okay, because otherwise you'd have to use Printcast, and then they'd have to line up perfectly with the van for it to come to. Yeah. Okay.
Like for example, if you did your hood as a graphic, and that give you more. Now here's the problem with wraps. Depending on your hood too, like they're gonna be concave and convex and shape and it distort. Because I used to own a vehicle wrapping company.
Okay.
So when you distort the image, that could potentially make Printcast, because it has to be like almost a 1-to-1. Printcast is looking for those, if they've been distorted or skewed, that's not the same as what it is on the server, right? Like if you've taken a rectangle, but it's become trapezoid or it's been skewed, it's not, even though it's being skewed in the camera when you move around it, it needs to find those. It's already computed what it should look like at those angles. If it can't find those skewing at those angles because it's actually been physically manipulated, it will never match up.
Okay.
So because the camera, the system works on all the sensors, right? If I look at an image and I tilt my phone down, it's doing the computational math to understand what the raycasting and then it's getting back. As you naturally tilt down, obviously the image distorts.
Yeah.
But the phone knows based on where it is, what it should be seeing for those key points. If those key points have been adjusted by the print being skewed, that will throw things off. That's just a long, short way of saying that.
Okay.
Now, but if the hood was a solid tracker, you could place things. You could figure it out exactly and get things. It would take a little bit of trial and error, but you might have to move a couple things down below the plane, move them here and there, maybe on an angle a bit, like on a 20-degree angle, just to match up. But you would be able to actually get something to match up. Like it's not impossible.
Okay.
You would just have to make the hood design would have to be paramount. It would have to be more than the QR code. It would have to be like the something Dave riding the majestic unicorn in the galaxy, kind of like really epic kind of mural type, or something with a lot of points, right?
Yeah. Okay, but at that point, I'd be using Printcast and not QR codes, so I'd have to get the.
But Printcast can be activated. Here's the thing.
Oh, you're right. Because then it scans it and then it tells you to place it over the image.
Yeah. Put a giant ass QR code right in the middle of the hood with all the graphics and stuff, or make it part of your thing. The QR code's dead center. They scan the QR code. Hey, line up with the image that's in front of you already. That's the whole point of Printcast and the QR code. It's like, but you can use the images itself, but nobody knows that yet because
it's too. Yeah, I know. They wouldn't scan it. Yeah.
It's too out there. There's only one way to scan images on Printcast, and that's the actual portal.worldcast.io or your own portal, and you have to go scan it.
It's through the camera feature.
Yeah, you have to go. Yeah, it's not native to the phone, right? Only the phone itself can look at a QR code. Our browser, our portal will scan a QR code or the image.
Yeah.
Hit the QR code button or the image and hold the image, but there's no holding down to do things.
Yeah.
In the Facebook browser, it's like if you share the URL, you can tap no image, and you can actually don't need the image. You can manipulate the actual cast itself without actually having the image. Like there's a no image feature, but
okay.
On the image, you wouldn't be able to actually. And again, these are the limitations of it's great that it works in the web, but Printcast makes sense for marketing materials that are printed and at spot, but not so much for sharing. Geocast works for sharing, and Showcast works for sharing. I mean, Printcast does work for sharing, but we got to re-educate people's minds of that, right?
Well, yeah, and if they're looking at it on their phone, then you'd have to do the URL base instead of the image base, because otherwise they'd have to take another phone to use it, to pull it off their phone or open it on a computer.
Did you watch my portal video that I showed how you can our partners can actually modify the splash screen and all that stuff with their own colors? And so if you went to portal.yoursite.com,
I'd be able to custom it.
Yeah. So there's actually a share in there with the meta, so you can actually say what you want to share. If you post that URL to Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you can actually type in your meta in there of what you want to say for the heading and the description,
Okay.
which is kind of cool.
Oh, that is
So
cool. Oh, I need to go through the different capabilities. I get bogged down. I think too much whenever I get in there, and then I'm like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do this? And then I lose my shit. But
it's
so I'll wait for the object cast to come through on bringing the car to life. But now I could, obviously I could assign it to an image code, but again it would be easier. Like if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to make a replica cartoon image of myself on the window, right? The window's up, and I want to have a still image of myself on the driver's side window, and I put a QR code on the door directly underneath that image. So they scan it, and then it directs them to now scan my image. So,
they don't have to scan the image, right?
it just
So
comes straight to life.
yeah, because when they scan that QR code, it's going to come up with that graphic of you that says line up with that which is obviously that graphic is right there.
Yeah.
If they scan the QR code and your windows down, well, they're SOL.
Yeah.
But if it's up and they scan the window, then they can do that.
Now, so it wouldn't come to life. So let's say that's a good point. If the window's down and then it's a wasted QR code, and they're like, "What the hell?" But now, if you also add imagery, right? So now you could have like your website floating through the air, or whatever it may be, or a link, or butterflies flying around. So in essence, would that obviously you want them to bring it up and align the image?
So I mean, there's 5 million things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like for example,
you're right. No, but you couldn't just bring freelancers in. You're right.
Right? You get it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like for example, we have this company that this is one of our hand holding companies.
Yeah.
They want to do this initiative with there's a very high foot traffic tourist destination, and they want to augment coffee cups. Well, the amount of space that they were allowed on the coffee cup was like, the size of, let's just be real here, a postage stamp. It wasn't going to be good for shit. It was like, oh, I can't really do anything with it. So put a QR code on it. That was the best thing. Now, what we've done for them is when they scan the QR code, instead of having it default to the lineup image part, we just have that commented out on their particular thing. It comes up with the cast, the equivalent of hitting the no image button. Basically, it's the default on their cast. And what it is, they designed a menu in Printcast with buttons that said, so it was like a 3D interactive menu all of a sudden that they didn't have to have the print for, that if they scan that QR code, so then they could like jump springboard on to different things. So they basically use Printcast to make a fancy 3D menu without actually having to do they were able to design it all in Printcast with 3D objects and stuff, and then have it be like a choose your own adventure to like, oh, make sure you go to the hood. If you tap the hood, it would automatically load that cast, and they can aim at the hood as an example, right?
So they put a lot of effort into that one. That's really cool. Well, you guys.
Not really.
Not really.
It's
all self. It's click. Yeah, you're right.
Literally using Printcast. All they did was design in Printcast. On a basically a flyer. It didn't matter what the image was at this point because you would never see the image. It was all covered with all the other stuff. Like the image in this case on Printcast did not matter at all. It was the content on top of the print with the interactive buttons and stuff that mattered. It was like it became a menu that they could interact and engage with.
Is there a feature to turn off?
We're working on that to make it so that the user can on save can decide if they want it to be no image by default or the scenario I just presented. Because
one of the things that I was getting stuck with is my cameras, for some ungodly reason, whenever when I go onto the website, it pulls up my Elgato screen mirror camera, and
but that's because you're using we don't support the desktop use your phone, like it's like
to build it
virtual cameras.
Well, that's for me when I'm building the program.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. I get that. I'm saying though, you're gonna have to go change your cameras, or we can't help you there. Like, that's Windows or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's what I figured, because that's But once it goes into the no image code, then I don't have to worry about that at all.
Yeah, you just tap no image, or just use your phone and use the like we made the preview so that you could do two things. You could either look at the image on the left hand side or fold it up to the camera on the other side. We tried to make it so that everything is available to everyone.
So you're saying I'm wasting my time because I'm trying to get the camera to line up where that camera means nothing and forget what's on my screen and just use my phone to scan it.
Yeah, just use your phone.
Yeah. Well, damn it, Dave. So much stupid time wasted. I love when I you're
You don't have to print it off, right?
Yeah.
The image is on the screen.
Yeah.
You have to scan that. When you hit save and the QR code pops up, scan that QR code, then go to the preview now button. It will bring up the image and you just aim your phone at it, and there you go.
Okay. And then you said I can also get more time in these. So if I were to do a green screen video, instead of like being stuck at 6 to 7 seconds like I have, I just lower my resolution. And then
here's the thing. Like, so you're probably doing, you said it was like it was a minute long video, right? But you're probably doing it in 4K.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you're killing the bet. Like, you can upload a 100 megabyte video, but 4K is ridiculous because you're not even looking at on your viewport at 4K, right? Even if it's you stand there, it's like you're not even looking at you in 2K. But we actually downsampled to 360p on our server because that 720 by 360p, depending on the vertical or horizontal, and you look great because you're looking at yourself this big on the viewport. It's all relative to the viewport at that point. Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't need to go in 4K. Just do it in like 1080, and we'll just downsample to 360.
When you so the cool thing is now with you having the virtual green screen feature with the premium section, that eliminates how you have to save it. So to get to actually do the green screen or to do the transparent background on that, I have to run it through a quick port or QuickTime.
No, you just upload the green screen footage. Right? We do it in post.
Yeah. Now, so you have that now, so I don't have to worry.
Now, dude, that's been around for 2 years.
I didn't have. When I first did it, I wasn't using the premium. I was just exploring on the other one.
Oh, just so you know, you understand with premium that you just have to go save as draft. You get 100 views, right? You don't have to actually pay for premium. You figured that out, right?
No.
Okay. So on premium, if you go make a cast, and you know how you have premium and premium, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
If you go premium and create a cast, if you go save as draft, you don't have to pay for it, and you got 100 views. And there's a count.
That's awesome.
You scan that QR code.
Yeah.
It's a countdown: 99, 98, 97. But you're not paying for shit. It's like you can look at that cast without paying for it until you're ready and get it to where you want.
That's awesome. Okay. Yep. Yeah. World of knowledge over here. That's what's the best way if I'm exporting a video through Premiere to save it as a file, like an AVI or a QuickTime or
MP4.
MP4. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We wanted to keep it. We wanted to keep the codec that the container that the majority of people are accustomed to. I don't want to get into AVI. I don't want to get into because there's so many codecs out there. They just start destroying things. It's like MP4 across the board just makes it simplified for everybody. And there's no device out there that can't output to an MP4.
Okay.
So
you have to understand, like when I say these things, like when I'm like, oh, the green screen, the feature, you have to understand I'm literally like the least tech human in the world. Like I just keep blowing up computers. I know nothing, but I just know what I want to have work.
No, it says when you go to the upload video, it actually says, so we might have to do a better job of making it more evident.
No, it's honestly probably me. It's because I mean most people that go through, I'm not.
No, but dude, again, you in some ways are the people that we also want to use. The non-savvy person in so many ways that wants to create shit.
Well, it's amazing. The setup, it's I watched the video game the other day. It was on Steam. Somebody was building a virtual house, and as I was watching him play this, I was in their Discord he was streaming. I'm like, oh my god, you need to check out WorldCast.io. I go, what you're doing right now is, I go, it was the same, the colors, everything when he was moving it around. I'm like, dude, you could build this, and I was explaining it to him. I'm like, you could go into Sketchfab, and I asked him, he's really into Star Wars. I go, oh my gosh, I go, you could literally make a virtual office with all of your stuff, because he made it look like his game room, and I'm like, dude, you could do this at your house. And I go, and you could share your room with people, and it's like they're entering your dungeon, your dojo. It's amazing what you guys the true functionality that you could do where you could literally take somebody out from the internet and bring the internet into real life. It's amazing.
So it's like, and again, we don't even though those functionalities, people are going to get those ideas. We know they're going to be there, but we're just not talking about it as much because we're making sure that the foundation and these little conversations about Dave couldn't find
Yeah.
that was supposed to be done before. There's obviously something we need to do to make it more evident, right? So that's where this is the shit I want to get polished off so that
Yeah.
that's where I'm interested most. Like those people and those things are naturally going to evolve and come.
Yeah.
But right now, these beginning stages, this is what I'm most interested in because it's like obviously we're missing the mark that Mr. Dave here couldn't find the MP4, and that's not your fault.
Yeah.
We need to do better ourselves to make it more evident. But MP4, and here's another cool thing: we're going to be releasing WebM ability. So see, green screen. Even though we have green screen video, there's still a lot of challenges with green screen, proper lighting, blah blah blah, edging, overspill, bias, blah blah blah. I can go on all day, but WebM, you're gonna be able to export things from Premiere and After Effects with full transparent video. Like even that effect that's in that effect that's below me right now. That the light rays and the spiral, the kaleidoscope, the rays of light,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Right now, because there's greens and stuff. If that was a green screen background,
It would go out.
It would look sucky.
Yeah.
If you did it in green screen on our system, but you could export it as the black itself. You could export it as a true alpha layer WebM component, and a lot of people use that WebM in Twitch and other things for transparent overlay. We're bringing that out for Printcast and Geocast that you can actually do transparent overlays with like high end special effects like that without having to and have it just instantly available.
Oh, that's gonna be cool. Is that is that gonna be directly on your website or is that through one of your partners?
Oh, it's through us. Like it's our code. It's just WebM standard.
Okay.
You'll be able to, and when you go to video, so eventually, and one in the upcoming weeks or month or so or 2 months, I don't know the exact time frame. We'll be doing a push that when you go to video, you'll be able to upload instead of an MP4, you'll also be able to upload a WebM file as well, and that will allow you to. You should start researching how to make WebMs.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
That's gonna make that will make shit look cool. Cause what I want to do with people are doing like a lot of you see my occlusion parallax sport cards and stuff. I was showing people like I'm an idea generator.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Content, but I show people the possibility. Like I generate more friggin' ideas than any other AR company out there myself. Like here's an idea.
Yeah, just take it and go have fun. Yeah.
And yet nobody seems to get what I'm throwing down. It's like
it's tough.
And I get one person that posts one thing and they get like 1 million views.
Yeah.
And it's not even fucking AR. It's like some composite.
Yeah.
So, but where I'm going with this, I started looking at that. So you look at somebody, maybe they want to do a collection of cards and they're making NFTs, whatever. They're making an NFT card collection with Printcast. But I want to add, how some of those really shiny, well, let's just say most people make shiny NFTs. Like that's just phase. A lot of people make the shiny ones. So if I had that glimmer coming down the screen on the video, you could actually take a WebM and do that glimmer that comes down over top of it. So it looks like it's like shiny and glimmery, but you can do that on green screen, but you can do this with WebM. And
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that and it will, I'll be able to add more functionality into my, in my streams and into my editing and stuff too. I like that.
That's I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes I drop the F-bomb. I'm Canadian. It's vernacular.
Oh, you're fine. I'm big into fuckola. I like fuckola. Holy fuckola. My wife always makes fun of me every time. She's like, I like that. I'm like, yeah. No, you're golden. That's really cool. I'm gonna look into that. What's your thought on these NFTs? I just had a conversation earlier with my buddy about NFTs, and I go, can you tell me what they're good for?
I've been watching the space since 2017 when I was watching Crypto Kitties, but it's not about the NFTs of today that I'm excited about. I'll go on record for this any day of the week. I am about the utility of what they can be with smart contracts when everything gets equalized and we have ubiquitous computing and we have things properly figured out, so we don't have people doing janky code that people lose $34 million on for transactions because they did all the market, they did all the hype, but they didn't put the money into the code. I'm sitting over here going, I'm putting the money into the code so we don't have those problems.
Yeah.
Like, right? So NFTs, there's a use. I'm not in the bubble resolve itself. You know, I don't discount anybody making money off them or anything else, or trying to sell virtual land, or I could have opened up GeoCast and started shaving off $1 million properties all day long on GeoCast, but I don't see that is our
sustainable. Yeah,
it's sustainable, like, because you don't know where the market itself hasn't the underlying technology, the underlying fundamental technology of things has not reached a point where it's scalable or sustainable. People want decentralized and blockchain components, yet they're using centralized systems for a lot of it, and it's like this is insane. So I'm into this. I am in the space. I'm in the crypto, NFTs,
okay,
and blockchain, but for down the road stuff.
Do you have any artwork on your walls that are NFTs?
No, I'm not a collector. I collect like, I'm not into the collection of it. I'm like, I get your here's the other thing. A lot of NFTs, even if I was a collector, they're so bloated in valuation of price. It's like, I don't. It's funny. I don't want to come across wrong for the community. I think it's a great community, but it's funny. I've watched this. Everybody wants to be about community, but then but all of them are bringing out this exclusivity component. It's like, buy this NFT for $500 to $1,000. You get X with it, but you can become part of this exclusive club. It's like, well, what about the people that you want people to come into it? And it's like, why is it $1,000? Because you like, a lot of it doesn't make sense to me. If I can understand paying for collections, I get it, but just because these people made millions doesn't mean that you have to put your pricing and your floor price to thousands and millions, because that's those people got lucky. They built a community and Discord and things, and now these people are trying to play catch up. So there's a lot of bad actors out there trying to make like a Ponzi scheme of things. Well, why are you selling that? You can ask them, well, why are you selling an NFT? Well, because it's an NFT. But why? Well, because it's an NFT. But why? Tell me why. What utility? What purpose? What longevity does it have to it that once I can go buy something, a physical item, and get a code for it, or I buy a digital item and get a physical good that I can take across any friggin' software I want, that's when you have the metaverse. That's when I can take my friggin' Vans I'm wearing right now and go, hey, I want Will McReynolds in that game right now, my avatar, to wear those Vans I just bought today. But oh shit, guess what? It's not interoperable. It doesn't go across to the other game that I'm in because they don't have the friggin' software built for it yet. They don't have the interoperable layer. That's where I see. I'd rather put the money building it than put the money towards collections. Because
because it's gonna because I mean, even if that technology changes, like let's say all the NFTs that are out now don't work when it's actually stabilized, and with the licensing games and everything, then you can't even bring it into.
Why build a business on a volatile structure that has so many ups and downs, regardless of where it may go, where people think it may go, with those peaks and valleys? Why would I spend millions of my own money building that when I could put millions towards building a structure that has a longer an actual path, an actual long-term structure, that all those things can eventually work on top of that layer that we're building anyway? So I'm going to watch the layers where they come to be, so we can bring them into when they make sense. I see companies bringing in. I started to go down a little bit of the hype train just because we also have investors. But then I was like, you know what? Honestly, it's not going to work for this, and this. And they're like, okay, we this is my investors, right? And they're like, okay, you've been right so far, so we'll just watch you work we'll let you do your autonomy. It's a big subject, man. What
I'm wondering is, so when you get to object inclusion and stuff, so I keep looking at the stuff behind you, right? So you do so many videos where you're in your desk, right? Like where you're at right now. So you got Hoth behind you. If you were to change, let's say you were to change that and put any picture behind you, and you embedded an image code with it, and the picture then in turn came to life, but more than just the picture came to life, it came off the poster board, right? So now you have stuff flying behind you. So like if I'm watching you and we're talking about different stuff, and I were to pull out my phone as I'm talking to you, and I scan this image, like you have something behind, like have fun, scan away, and now all of a sudden I scan this, so you're here. Obviously it would be very easy for it to come to life in my phone in front of you, right? Very easy for it to come to life in front of you. Would it be possible for you to separate your boundary? I know it wouldn't be a live video, but could you in essence it would just be a pre-recorded thing on that, because you'd be bringing it through WorldCast, so you would be able to put it and layer it and go behind you, right?
Yeah, like a lot of things can be done, but here's the thing: I don't have the time to make a lot.
I know you're right. I know. You're going to the I know. You have to keep moving forward, and that stuff. It's already feasible. It's already doable. You've surpassed. Yeah.
The person just has to because literally there's millions and millions and millions of
things you could do. I know. I know. I know.
And that's the problem with building a platform.
Yeah.
These conversations, there's so many rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Death Star just blew up behind you.
That was you. You blew it up. That's your voice. Yeah.
Oh right. Oh, that voice. Hey, yes.
Yeah.
Boom, I have the power.
Oh God.
Wait, that nebula or galaxy or that nebula above you, I can't really tell what it is. Is that actually in your cylinder, or is that something you've done in OBS or?
Oh wait, this stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's I made a cloud. It's a cloud ceiling. It's LED light strips underneath cotton balls. So I put up a tarp up on my ceiling. I stapled the tarp up, and then I glued cotton balls and lights to it. So when you're on when you're taking a nice tour of your mind, it actually, it's beautiful. I got a big beanbag chair right here, so I'll lay on it and I'll just stare up at the sky.
I've been trying to I've been trying to talk our CFO and other things. Like I said, I need a beanbag chair in my office, and it's like
it's amazing.
I'm trying to get because I have one at home. I'm trying to get money released for my own personal needs. To go, I need a beanbag chair. I have lava lamps. I have all things to put me in different zones of being.
Yeah,
that's my jam. But I honestly, but here's a guy that owns a technology company asking you, is that real above you, or is that because it's all possible?
I know.
It's possible, right?
I know. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna be able to have multiple experiences inside one. You can go rock climbing. Like I tell people, I'm like, it's gonna be the future. It's gonna be amazing. I go, you could be a rock climber, and you'll be able to eventually wear augmented reality glasses, and you'll be able to see the depth of the rocks, to know and what you could grab onto, and in essence build you a footing. And then to take matters on top of that, when you get to the top of the mountain, you could basically have anything throughout there. You could be looking over and you could see people parasailing that aren't even there.
Well, here's the thing. For those to really take off, then I go to the next level of that, right? Then that's when, I mean, the stuff I'd say doesn't really work. Like there's so many things that.
Yeah, I know.
But that's when you're going to want resistance haptics and other actuators and stuff. So when you reach up, you actually feel the weight of your body pulling up. Well, that's when the cool shit's going to be.
Yeah.
Once you actually have a bodysuit with I don't know with cable driven resistance, to give you that resistance, that's going to be the cool. Like, I want to live in that era.
Yeah.
But I want to only talk about what is truly available to people, because that's when it starts getting muddy.
Yeah.
These kind of conversations with people that want to, I don't mind jamming with those kind of future conversations.
Yeah.
But I want everybody to understand, from my standpoint, is like, I don't mind talking about it.
Yeah.
And conversation this way. but I'll never promote it because I don't
Yeah.
feel it's there yet.
So like that's where I get kind of crazy because I've been following Nokia for quite some time, and it's funny. I like to obviously read through a lot of lines. And like they kind of were out of the 5G race, right? They had a bunch of different companies that wanted to get at 5G in all the metropolitan areas. And what I found funny and interesting is I seen the Nokia basically kept doing government contracts with foreign countries and really poverty-stricken areas to launch 5G. And it's interesting to me because doing that, you're going in different areas that don't necessarily use a lot of internet usage, and being able to do that, you're able to test true capabilities of 5G. So I imagine Nokia on the back line just testing the shit out of the true capabilities what 5G, like I picture them conquering the Tesla theory with charging devices through 5G. I mean, I know it's a long shot, but I picture Nokia is the one who's going to change the game on like in-home augmented. And I know that I'm probably not accurate on that, but I like to believe I am. As weird as it is, I go back and they used to have a podcast back years ago. I found some stuff in it, and they were in augmented reality way before augmented reality was cool. And it's interesting to kind of see that, and we don't really hear anything about that anymore. Or but I don't know. I feel as I feel as if they have something they're just gonna come out with like a chip game or something that's gonna be used for in home usage.
No, I think that look, there's a lot of companies out there doing a lot of things. Some are doing things behind the scenes that people don't even know about. Some
Yeah.
people have things. Some people have technology they worked on a long time ago. I think that was like I can't remember their like Nokia's converged charging system, like their 5G converged. I think it's converged. I can't remember.
They had a
Anyway,
charging
the point.
system off 5G.
Well, that's what I remember reading something like that a while ago. I'm just trying. I can't remember the whole thing, but they had a name for it and talking about that part. Those things I don't get hung up on
Yeah,
because
yeah,
like
yeah.
those.
See, you have cool stuff to focus on. I don't. You know how to do stuff. I just like how you said you theorize and you come up with all these cool ideas. You know how to physically do them, right? So you have something and you build it in your plan. Me, I just think of what is possible and I have no possible clue how to do it. So I just get lost from going to idea to idea to idea and nothing's created. So I just theorize all day.
Like people like KP9 itself we have like so many years of innovation that people think that this company is basic or they're like it took a lot of work to do the code for the code, okay, and the engine we have below it. But the point is we have so many things that are in the coming years that we don't talk about because it's like there's patentable things that you can't talk about either that for things come out. The whole world's going to change.
Yeah.
We've been doing test beds with like Ericsson and stuff in Toronto for their 5G but I think it was back in I don't know 2017, I can't remember. One of the earliest test beds for 5G in Canada, in Ontario, we had access to the tower. It was a very limited focus. You could only be like a kilometer away, like not even a kilometer away from it. You'd be like, well, I think like maybe a kilometer maximum. It was on top of a building, and you go to a park across the road, and that was the cone that you could be in. And it's like, so that we were able to test the 5G ideas, and that's when I started realizing, you know what, other than stadiums and stuff, we still have a lot. We still have a lot of area to cover in terms of serving content. Uh, Regardless of the bandwidth that you have that you're afforded by any kind of connectivity, you also have to look at the actual amount of connectivity based on the amount of people to that same pipeline. So based on any kind of tower or multiple towers thereof, if you have concurrent connections hitting any kind of spot, that bottleneck, no matter how much bandwidth you have, starts getting chipped away at, right? So we want to start, you have to start thinking of like, you really have to build low latency things that can scale with the ability of content. If the connection, regardless of 5G, is getting really crappy, and we're pulling in all these models and stuff as an example, or maybe we're using it for telemetry to figure out where you are so we can stream. But the 5G is streaming the telemetry from the phone, and we're cloud rendering the stuff on the we're using cloud, edge, and fog computing, and all of a sudden now we're using mesh computing. We're using everybody in the stadium that's on the portal to all talk together to make even more computational power with the 5G. But because there's so many people, how do you offset the system, right? How do you go? We have 500,000 people. And I don't even know the numbers of stadiums, but we have a ridiculous amount of people at the stadium now. COVID's underneath. Everybody's connecting to this experience. But how do you make the system work so that you can leverage the power of 5G, but also not bottleneck things and have low latency serving to have the best Hollywood experience of the X item that you can, right? Like, there's a lot of things that go into it that people don't talk about. I know I kind of ramble.
Yeah, no, I'm picturing there. We're talking about the Panthers and where they had the Panther. Was it the Panther where that ran across the whole stadium, jumped around, and then what did they do? They did a horse. Some guy riding a horse as well, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's
people are doing.
There's lots.
There's a lot of them now.
Experiences, lots of them. But those things again. Those things require specialized apps.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, they're app driven.
Those were all app driven. So the people they had the so they had the down. Okay, yeah, that's
like Snapchat and things you're going to see with things that you'll see come out of Lightship and stuff will be pretty good. But I'll still dominate in the web, I think, in some ways when we release stuff. But that's me saying that.
Yeah.
But things like Lightship and Snapchat, they've got some really good at location things for doing the occlusion and segmentation to make it look awesome like that. Or some of them are even like actual just Unreal. Believe it or not. Like some of them are like some of the ones you see moving the phone and stuff. But if it looks like a camera pan and it's coming from the actual studio, that was probably like one of those newscasts. Those newscasters that have the tornadoes and stuff in the room with them. Those mixed items.
Yeah.
Those are all done in real time with Unreal. And some of those experiences are also done with Unreal. I'd have to see it to tell you which ones were. Oh, that was Snapchat. That's this. That looks like an Unreal experience, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
There's a lot, man. So we answered your QR code question.
Yeah, you did.
Was there another question in there?
He did. Yes. So the QR codes. Once I assign a QR code. Can I change where the QR code links? So they're like, right. So let's say I've run a promotion, right? I have something and the QR code is doing something, right? And I say, hey, I don't want that one anymore. I didn't get the response I was looking for. I want to change this up, but however, I want to continue using that QR code because it's already on the vehicle.
Yeah, so you just go to your cast and keep that cast live and just change it. You can change the title and you can change the tracking image, or show cast. You can change out the title and the 3D model. So every cast that you have, other than geocast is fixed to a location and it's not easily migrate. You can't exactly migrate the geolocation easily yet. But showcast and printcast, you can recycle those QR codes all day long.
Okay, so I'm going to play around with geocast a little bit more.
As long as you don't delete the cast. If you delete the cast,
then it's gone. Should I lock?
Right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Or if you hear me out for a second.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, I got you.
Or you can use a third-party service that you can manage QR codes, right? Like there's companies out there you can pay a service. You can generate a URL kind of like an alley or kind of like a QRcode.com type.
Oh no way! And I can use that QR code on your website.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can actually
because put it as the image code, as printcast.
Yeah, and you can change that QR code. So if, say for whatever reason you want that QR code to go to a different spot that's not even our system down the road, you could actually use that service to do that. Is what
that's genius because they have different data capturing websites where I could use the QR code and I could capture data assigned with it, so I'd be able to put that basically into my CRM. So my car would be a walking, driving CRM as well.
Yeah, like
that's cool.
Don't forget, like on our QR codes in our cast, you still get the analytics of where, and how long, and what they engage with. But you could also do other things with those other systems. Like we're like, you know what? Why reinvent the wheel? If somebody else wants to do that, we're given the basics. If someone wants to do more advanced,
That's
it's
cool.
I'd rather another company that specializes in that make the money on it, right?
No, man, I honestly greatly appreciate that because I wouldn't have thought to do that at all. I was just have your website, but that's amazing. I did an open house and I did a QR based open house, and it was amazing the data I was able to capture from each person who checked into that. So
There's you could have before they even went to it. That QR could be a landing page that they have to answer a quiz or a questionnaire and then go proceed, and then it opens up the print cast.
it's awesome.
Image. Like
It's
there's,
cool. It's cool. It's yeah.
Where do you want to take it?
Right? Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's that's amazing. It's funny because I honestly I wouldn't have thought about that at all. I'm gonna watch more stuff on your GeoCast because I go to Micro Center. It's a computer store by me very frequently, and so I thought it would be really cool to make an advertisement for myself there.
Actually, let me just bring up something here real quick to share my screen.
Yeah.
I'll show you something that seems to be missed a lot. Then I'll have to jet soon.
Okay.
Let's go here. Just going to share my screen.
Oh God. So, yeah. There's so much stuff you can do. How do I get a job? Find me a job too. There's
We're still running. Our company is still running on running lights, man. To be honest with you, like COVID. I won't lie. COVID decimated us in so many ways because we were just launching in 2020. We lost millions. We had contracts with theme parks. Theme parks were going to use our software, and they couldn't. Like it really sucked in so many ways. So basically on GeoCast, I'm just going to go to. It doesn't matter what I call this. Whatever. I'll create. Go full screen. Doesn't matter where I go either. I'm just going to go anywhere. Sure, we'll go to my office, even though I'm not going to actually open anything. I'll just go to this intersection. So that intersection is like right out there in my window. Okay, I'm not going to actually do a cast at the moment. I want to explain something.
Yeah.
So right now, this avatar always faces. It's the default pose for the avatar is always facing north. Okay, it starts off facing north.
Okay.
So this avatar, you notice how he has a phone. Or it has a phone, sorry, not he or she, but it, and has glasses. This ring represents the best. If you're designing something at street level, that ring represents placing the content, so you can kind of figure out how it's going to look in front of this person. This person is an average size humanoid. Okay, this person's like 5'10".
Okay.
In reality, okay. So, but here's the cool thing: you can go open facing user. Now, where open facing user comes into play, if I was to place a video in the epicenter of this cast. And I want to open up, and say I placed content in the middle of a stadium. Okay.
Yep.
Got me so far.
Yep.
I would use open facing user because then anybody sitting on the perimeter of the stadium looking at that content's going to open facing no matter no matter where they are in the stadium. Make sense?
Yep.
If open facing user wasn't on, the cast would be designed with the user. So I'm just going to go create for a second. I'm just going to bring in something random. Just real quick. Sure, Spider-Man. Actually, just bring. I got too many things. Too many things.
What are these prices?
Oh, they're my they're the models I've purchased on Sketch. We have the freemium, but we also these it's bound to your account, right? So my Sketchfab account has all these accounts of content that I've created, right?
Okay.
So say I want this biomechanical whale.
Okay.
For whatever reason, just so give it a second here. So they're ones I've purchased.
Okay.
Above and beyond the free ones, just because I thought they were cool. Or I want to support artists, right? That's my way of supporting the community. I'll go buy the shit people make. I might not invest in NFTs, but I'll we're right inside the whale. Apparently, that was a little weird. So we're just going to turn this biomechanical whale sideways, make it a little bit smaller to make a point here. So right now it's a little baby whale in front of the person. Okay, makes sense, right? Now, if I hit save, if I opened up the cast from this side of the street, I would see the back end of the whale because I don't have open facing user. That makes sense so far, right?
Yep.
Now here's where it gets but if I want the default view for the cast, I would take this avatar and I would move it to be facing east instead, so that when I open so this is how you define your open facing user. Your content.
Okay.
So if I start designing content and I was like, oh shit, I can't rotate the whole thing as a whole. I got like 10 objects in here, buttons, and I designed it all. Well, all you have to do is move your avatar and that will define the open facing user. Now here's another thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly grab a video. Just give me a second here.
Yeah, you're going.
I'm just going to grab this.
I appreciate all this, Will.
No worries. So this is a cool feature. So I'm just going to bring the video up. 1 second. Make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to design this cast like how I want it to be seen. So if I opened up the cast, I would see this whale and I'd see this video playing above it. Okay. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Now, but if I take this element and I go follow camera, what that means is if I opened up the cast coming from this way, the whale would stay the same, but the video would face the user. So as the person moved around, that video would always face them, but the content down below would stay locked in its position. Okay, that's without using follow user. Make sense?
Yeah. But now, so if I'm moving around, so the whale isn't on follow the camera, so I'd be able to walk around the camera, but then the
whale would stay the same.
Okay, yep. Which would be nice because the video isn't 3-dimensional. The video is only. Right. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm still getting that too, because right now, if I didn't have follow camera on,
yeah.
If I walked up from the side, this is what I would see.
Yeah.
I would see the back end of the whale, and I would see this video. If I went to a certain point, the video wouldn't be there, looking visible because I can't see it.
Yeah.
Because I'm at the side of it. But if I had follow camera on, that video would snap to the camera view of my phone. Make sense?
Yeah. Perfect sense.
So there's a lot of those are the tutorials I'm making right now that are not live yet because it's a very complicated. But once you get onto it, it's easy. But you have to kind of think and how you want that experience to be consumed. If it's at a park and it's a statue, maybe that statue never faces camera. So if somebody comes up to the side of it, they see the actual side of it. But if there's information panels, you can have those information panels going follow camera. You have it so that it's not. You have it so that it's not open facing user, but you have it set to follow camera for certain elements so they face the user, but the main content stays fixed at facing a certain location.
Okay. Now, when you very first got into this, back when you were on the whale and you selected your address, you had a location thing. When it was set at 5 meters, I'm gonna imagine.
Yeah, okay, so that's I have another video that shows that being used. So we have we have this heritage village. So what they did is they placed a bunch of experiences down the path. So what they have an instructional component at the very beginning of the scavenger hunt that tells you how to use GeoCast. Just open your phone and walk along. Once you get within the proximity of this auto open, the cast. Right now, you can use there's blue dots that are created called cast dots, right? The blue dot for a geocast, where you can manually open up with the cast catcher. We call it. It looks like a bubble blower. That's basically a reticle for that. We're building it so it makes sense down the road when people put on a pair of glasses. They have the little reticle that can use gaze and go on top of these little dots.
Smart.
The experiences.
Yeah.
So we're getting people used to that now. So cast dots. The one at the bottom is the one closest to you. The one at the top of the pillar is the one furthest away from you down the road. So as you tilt your phone up, it changes it tells you how far away that next cast dot is. But if you walk down without actually manually opening them up, if you get in that threshold of the auto defined by the auto open, it'd be at 10. So I'm just going to change this number here.
No, that's meters. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can change it to centimeters, feet, or inches as well.
Okay.
But you're not gonna get that accurate on GPS. Like so meters. So you notice how the ring got bigger. Now you can design that experience. So if I got to the threshold of this 10 meters, there's my content. So this is how the content's going to look at that size, based on. So I might have to look at the content, but it's going to open up at the 10-meter mark. If I walk, if I can't move this avatar, but if pretend this avatar is moving, I'm just going to drag through the screen. As I walked through this and got to the other side, that cast would close. And I might come onto the next one out. So you can walk down the street and have cast open and close as you're going down the street.
Now, how this is set up with the auto open, you just have to have your camera open and be in range.
The portal, not your camera on your device, the actual portal.worldcast.io.
That's awesome. Oh, thank you for that as well. So that's why, because I did, like I said, I did it at my Micro Center store where I had my advertisement. going across, and I could not figure out how to open it, and that's why. Okay.
So if you go to pearl.worldcast.io and pick the explore the world around you.
Yep, I've seen that.
Down, you'll find that dot that you placed. But if you set auto open and you're within that realm of the perimeter, it will probably automatically auto
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay.
Like we're building for the future. So when you're wearing glasses, when it's available, when you're walking down the street, all the cash you make today can just be auto opening and closing. If you have it set to open up, we're gonna make it so you can build layers. Like I don't want to see stuff from restaurants. Okay, so we'll never auto open stuff from restaurants, but I want to see stuff from XYZ store. So we're starting to build those logics in so that you can define what you want to see.
That's cool. You do all that stuff as well? With the logics?
Man, we're an engine.
That's awesome.
All we built is logic. Like, we have AI systems. Our whole engine is what's worth the millions. That stuff that you see on the service, the studios, that's just the entry points to create the content. We have a massive underlying engine with utility that we're building for the future at the same time as we build what. Like,
that's cool.
We're no joke. We're here to play.
I'm gonna come and visit you one day. I'm gonna head out that way. I'm gonna see the setup. That's cool. I could imagine. I mean, what you could possibly do. That's really cool. How do you feel about then, because they're doing some of that stuff with Magic Leap, right, over in Japan and Tokyo, right? They're doing the scavenger hunts and stuff, and they're
but you look at with Unreal and Magic Leap and stuff. Why does nobody focus on the device everybody actually has in their pocket right now?
I know that's the most important thing. That's how you have to get them. Like I mean, you're 110% right. You can only I tell people all the time, like the metaverse, it's not what it's perceived. You can only strap on that headset so many times and pull it off. I'm like the biggest avid virtual reality user ever, and I honestly don't even put it on anymore because I don't use it the traditional way.
But remember, here's the thing, man. People have to understand, for a true metaverse, again, you know me and my stance on it. I don't call it that. It's like I'm too busy building the stuff to define it. Like, what ends up being called, whatever. But this is how it has to be. If you're in say you're in VR and you're in a chat room as an example, or a game.
Yeah.
I should be able to connect with you based on just even audio if I'm out and about and just hang out with you. Audio should be interoperable. 3D model should be interoperable. I should even be able to log into my phone and see through your viewport of watching what you're doing in that space, or even in the space itself, and roam around as an avatar using my phone while you're in the VR space. All it has to connect together. If I just want to connect, if I'm on my headphones, but I want to jam in a room with all my friends that are in there playing, but I can still talk with them, that's the metaverse. That's everything works together in a ubiquitous computing format that everybody can engage no matter what device they're on. That is the metaverse. And nobody talks about that. But the entry point right now to get to all of it for the masses
is right there.
Is right here in our pockets, in our phone, within 3 feet of us.
Yeah.
No, headsets are awesome, but they're not at scale. It's like, how many of your friends actually own VR headsets, man?
Well, I had probably about 8. I got them all to buy, but I'd say the only one who still uses it is my wife. She uses it every day on her lunch break, and she works out inside of it.
But do you see where I'm going with that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, I agree. It's awesome. Like I have my Quest 1 and Quest 2 right beside me to do stuff. But the point is, and I have it, I have it hooked up for like the Oculus sync, so I can actually get a little bit more horsepower with it, with the plugged into my 3080 card.
Yeah.
I do a lot of wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
At the same time, I still have yet to every time I go to use it, update. Oh, this isn't working. This virtual camera's not working. This mic's not working.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the butt sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. And that's what has to get solved in so many ways for us to have these really good experiences, because nothing worse than I want to go relax and chill. Oh, look, I have to do an update. Oh, like, there's always these, you think we'd be used to by now.
Yeah.
But there's so many problems, and game developers are equally, game houses and other software companies. They're notorious for pushing out stuff before it's even done. Oh, we'll put it to gold, but we'll do updates as we go. And the poor user's always getting. Remember video console games? You can play console games for hours and hours and hours. I can go back to Nintendo and plug in a cartridge and
Yeah.
just start playing.
Yeah.
I go grab a game off the shelf or Steam or go to my Steam Deck and grab a game from my library. Oh, look, you need a 5 gigabyte download to update this.
Yeah.
And so go make a call. Even though you're primed and want to play that, it's like, remember those days you could go to your game library and, something and play it?
Yeah.
It's not that simple
Yeah.
on headsets. I'm not knocking them. I'm saying we're far away from it being seamless where you can just, it's a true, I can grab my phone at any time and pick it up and it works.
Yeah, for sure.
99% of the time.
Yeah.
Every single time I want to go play a game, there's an update for the hardware or an update for the game.
Yeah. You're 100% right. It's like dealing with I don't know if you guys have Comcast or if you have Cox or who you have over by you, but it's who do you have?
It's not we're not the same as US. We have multiple ones, like we have Rogers, Bell, and a couple of them. But
so imagine just having them connected to your face and you're having tech issues and you get so frustrated, and that's, I mean, how many times are you gonna physically pull it off? Because like you said, all the issues with the virtual camera and audio.
There's so many issues that nobody talks about it.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to use if you use it just for the commuting system that it is, right? If you just use it for gaming in the simple Oculus store, you don't really have that many issues. But when you use it for high functioning and thing, it's, and that's with, you know, wanting to do workspaces and stuff.
But what I'm trying to say is, man, all I use it for is fucking games.
Yeah.
And every time I go to use it, I'm in a mood to play a game, and I can't play the game because I spent a half hour fucking updating it.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's something. Or I got six Oculus updates. Now you can skip it.
Yeah.
But then you're not going to have the experience that you're supposed to be having.
It's a fun world.
But you know, I bought into that world when I got the DK1. Okay,
yeah.
I had the DK1, right? I had Google Cardboard. I had Google Go. I had every single fucking piece of hardware you can strap to your face.
Yeah.
It's all the same. It is not there for the general public in so many ways, yet it is at the same time.
Yeah.
Quest, and what Meta's done for bringing out the Quest model and all the sales they've had is fantastic, but there's so many shortcomings that have to be addressed and resolved, and they are by being sold, and I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm to the point in my life that I also want to just have something that works, that I can go in and have a little bit of fun to offload and off gas.
Yeah.
But so 9 times out of 10, I'll plug in an emulator or something, and I'll play a legacy game on my 55-inch screen above my desk while it's updating on the headset.
Yeah.
I love VR, okay? I love VR and I love the world we're coming into.
Yeah.
I just don't promote it as much because I want to focus on the things. Anyway, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Will.
Sorry, I go off on a little tangent, sir.
No, it's gonna be amazing. I'll go. I'll let you go, but I know with you in the mind, the last thing, it's amazing. So we already have the eye tracking. My daughter, she's going to physical therapy, and I was talking to the lady today about cognitive behavior and eye tracking, because there was an autistic kid in there, and I was asking about what she does to reassign his focus, right? Because there's other stuff going on in the room and stuff, and listen, oh my god, dude. Oh, there you are. Hello? Yeah, dude, I am so tired of technology. I'm having this issue right now where everything, all of my USB drives, every single one of them, blinks and shuts off. So all the cameras die. So you're over here now. So all the cameras die off. I lose responses to my keyboard, to my mouse. My Stream Deck goes out, and oh my god, it keeps happening. I'm losing my mind, Will.
So again, I run into those same issues. Like I'm very cautious. I do a fresh reboot before I do a meeting where I'm sharing my screen, because I have shit like that happens all the time. And again, it illustrates how we are not there yet to do the things that we want to do, even though they're coming. And we can do some cool stuff. But would I trust doing a few hour long thing? I've seen people crap out live all the time.
Yeah. It's no fun. It's no fun. It's
stressful.
yeah. You think that I restart this computer so much, and I don't know what the hell the USB thing is. This is literally my sixth computer. When you don't know stuff, you do a lot of user error and stuff. But go ahead. Sorry.
So make sure your USB hubs. I'm sure you have them. Make sure they're powered. Okay.
Yep, they're powered.
Yeah. A lot of people. I mean, I'm sure you do. But I'm just going by you telling me that.
Yeah.
You don't know as much as what.
No, I love it. Any help?
Do you make sure your draw on those USB hubs is not exceeding the actual power availability of those hubs as well.
Okay, I need to check that then. I need to check that because like I have I have two hubs sitting here. One has 4 things plugged in there. The other one has 5, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six cameras, a stream deck. It's stupid though. It should be able to handle all that.
Yeah, well, your cameras, because they're not powered devices, they're taking the power draw from the hub, right?
Yep.
So make sure that you, even if you have to spread out them on the hubs, like if you have a few of them connected to the same hub, if you have 5.
Yep, I have 2 on. Yeah, I have 2 on each hub, and then I have the other ones inside the actual computer.
So check your power draw if you have 2
per camera.
Right, make sure that your power draw is not. This used to be a big problem with gaming computers. People, they'd have a power unit in their computer, but it couldn't support the draw from the amount of peripherals plugged into it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. God, this is so much, Will. It's so much. I just wanted to talk to you about the eye tracking and being able to teach kids how to learn, because it's going to be amazing through this augmented reality world that we're overcoming. We're going to be able to figure out where people's eyes go to, and they're already doing this on pages, and we're going to be able to learn how to teach at a much higher level. It's gonna totally change the way of people learning. It's oh God, I love it.
So I don't know if you saw, like, I'm a big proponent of for the spectrum for making things like facial recognition for a confidence level of what people are feeling, the emotion, right? Because I'm bad at that. Somebody could be telling me that their family member died, and I'd be like, to me, I might think they're telling me a joke in some ways, even though that's a really bad example. But the point is, I might not tell they're sad in some ways, which sucks.
Yeah.
But here's what I'm saying. With that eye tracking, I posted a video not too long ago. Well, maybe about 8 months ago, where I showed a demo of our desktop studio using face tracking and eye tracking for the actual studio. So if you look left and right, you can start the studio you're designing on is 3D, and then start to implement eye tracking from your webcam to help us understand how people are actually interacting with our not yet. We'll let people know when we're doing it because it's privacy, but.
That's awesome. It's cool that you really go that far. I mean, that you're gonna when everything's on. I mean, you're gonna have the best user experience ever, and you opened my mind so much more to drawing into the portal that you guys are doing as well, because I was thinking it was gonna be so much on the normal. You're controlling 2 camera systems in essence, which is really cool.
Yeah, there's like, well, even virtual land. I think GeoCast alone has like I don't know, it has a ridiculous amount of virtual cameras. Like there's like 12 or 20 virtual cameras within the scene itself, on top of the camera with the native camera. Like there's a lot of stuff happening.
That's awesome. And then you're able to you could capture that as well if you do a screen record, right? So if I were to screen record, then I could capture that. Yeah.
That's how I do all my stuff. I all that stuff just through screen recording. Now, the only thing I won't do it on, if you do an incognito tab, you can't record an incognito tab.
I didn't know that. Yeah. So when you built when you did one of your scenes where it was literally like a control panel in front of you, was that through GeoCast then?
That was for sure. The one with like the console with one of my team members standing in front of it type scenario.
Yeah,
that's Showcast.
That was Showcast. Okay.
You've selected Showcast. Excellent choice. Let's start by giving our cast a title. In this case, we're going to call this Playful Dog. We have the ability to give our cast actual scale. So in this case, we're going to go feet, and we're going to pick 3. So this means that when we create our cast, when we place an object in there, it will come in at scale at 3 feet. On the left side of the screen, you will find the tools you need to create your cast. Click to add images, buttons, text, 3D objects, and more. Creating an account with Sketchfab gives you access to thousands of pre-created 3D objects. Easily search and import 3D object to your cast. In this case, I've already logged in with my account, which is free to create, and I'm going to go animate it, and I'm going to type in playful dog. Let's go import. You can easily click, drag, and scale your 3D object using the nodes and arrows on the transform tool. For a deeper dive into all of our cast options, watch subsequent videos. Remember, you can rotate camera by clicking the left mouse button, pan the camera with the right mouse button, and zoom using the scroll wheel, like so. Most objects that are animated might have a drop-down list of different actions. In this case, we're going to select shake. Let's change this to 3 feet, and we'll just put the dog on the plane of reality, like so. Perfect. On the right side of the screen, you'll find functions for saving your cast, creating a new cast, and your profile. WorldCast Studio automatically creates a profile for you the first time you use it. This makes saving your work easy. Let's go save. Once you publish your showcast, scan the provided QR code with your mobile device to see your digital experience come to life. Feel free to scan this QR code to see what the end result will look like before you create one. Have fun creating. With like that will look exactly the same for Android and iOS, except Android and iOS without LiDAR wouldn't do the segmentation and occlusion. You have to have a LiDAR device to do that effect.
Okay. I know you got to go. I really appreciate all your time today, man. It was a blast chatting with you.
No worries, man. I appreciate it. I hope I answered some questions, and I got to have a little bit of fun talking things like that I try not to talk too much public on, because it's something that well, I really don't need to talk about publicly yet.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, and I mean, I don't know if you have a really active YouTube channel and stuff, but would you mind if I toss this up there eventually on mine?
Can you give it to me to review?
Yeah, 110% I can. Now you're going to have to, welcome to the world of editing. How much time do you spend editing your stuff before you put it? Yeah, you just like to free go out. You just like to go out there and do it.
Well,
I know.
That's why I look, you and I both know.
Yeah, I know.
30 seconds of footage takes 8 hours, 10 hours.
It's stupid.
It's insane.
It's stupid.
It's like, so basically most of my tutorials, I just start doing one take as much as possible.
Yep.
Even if I mess up, because you know what?
Yeah.
It's like fire and forget, man.
Yeah.
Anyways,
just go.
This kind of stuff I just talked about, I want to make sure. So edit it up. I want to make sure some of the stuff I say is something that I always want to represent the company or not give away too many cats out of the bag or whatever.
Yeah.
Too, right?
Yep. So if I talk some mad stuff about the good old FB, that we'd have to block that out.
Right.
Yeah. How is that a no in the industry? We'll edit all that out. Is that
no? I'm talking about. I just.
Well, for me, I'll be honest. I talk a lot of crap, and I wonder if anybody ever does watch any of my stuff, if that would hinder my ability to ever land in this industry, because I talk a lot of crap about Facebook. I'm in a position right now. We have a lot of companies talking to us. That makes sense. Yeah, I got you.
I don't want anything out there. These are my core beliefs, and I'll stand by them.
Yep.
I don't want to have the headache of having to defend them early on.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
That's the best way I can say that.
Yep. Okay. No, yeah, Obviously, when I talked about Nokia, probably that's a no go. I'd imagine.
That part, I don't see any issue with that. It's like when it's like I don't want to be perceived as trashy when I talk about people's. Even though I explicitly said I encourage them to do it. Now I'm just saying that I think it looks like kind of shit right now. I don't want people can take that contextually wrong and think that I'm just poo pooing on them, things like that, right?
I don't know. You're pretty. I mean, you're on it. You're a pretty non-confrontational guy. Obviously, like I know you think differently, like because you think you don't see the emotions and stuff. But you seem. I mean, you seem pretty like Switzerland, right? So like yeah. You really. I mean, you really. Anytime I say something, you kind of really cleared it back up on your viewpoint of it and bringing it back into a community.
This is a guy posted about my competitors like a few weeks ago saying, look, use them too. I'm like, I literally am Switzerland in some ways because I want people to get the best experience. If we're not for you, we're not for you. Go to Eighth Fall and use them for their coding abilities and stuff, right? It's like, but you know what? Equally, if you want to take our experiences in the Eighth Fall, it's all URL based. So by all means, WorldCast into their systems, like, right?
I love it.
This is the era that we should be in. It's like if I want, you know what? Maybe I want to go to McDonald's, but you don't have Coke, so I went across the road and brought Coke in to eat I should be able to eat my meal if I'm paying $20 for the hamburger and fries, I should be able to bring my Coke in from the other restaurant because I want to have Coke with my meal. Do not deny me my Coke with my meal.
No, don't that I will. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm just trying to show.
Yeah, I love it. Right? Yeah.
That's the kind of world that we need to live in. It's like we shouldn't be as boxed in as possible. We need to be able to break down boundaries and work together in so many ways. And if something looks like crap, I'll say it, but I'll appreciate what goes into making it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's like a giant affiliate. All right. All right, dude. Thanks, Will.
No problem.
Thanks, man. Thanks. You have a beautiful evening. Thanks. Bye. Whoa. Oh. Hey, what's up, world? It's I, Dave, your second favorite fanny pack wearing human, and you just witnessed a one-on-one with myself, Fanny Pack Dave, and Will McReynolds. Man, WorldCast.io, K9 Interactive. The company, if you're not following them, if you're not subscribed to him on YouTube, but you truly are missing out. If you want to get into this augmented world and you want to do something, let's say for either yourself or a personal level or for a business level, marketing, advertisement, product placement, whatever it may be, I'm telling you, you want to go check out Will McReynolds on YouTube and also WorldCast.io. It will truly blow your mind what is possible in this world. It's crazy. Just link your mind. Just link it. Shh. Do anything. Yeah, the mind went away. It's not even there. We don't even know. Right. But again, thanks for watching. Have fun. Beautiful night. Day. Whatever it may be. Feliz Navidad.